This segment is sponsored by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife.
All right, welcome back, everyone. You can call us here at 737-7767. We'll be glad to answer any question you might have about the outdoors. Or we're talking about CWD, and it has never knocked on Tennessee's door till this past month.
A few weeks ago.
Yeah, it was just a few weeks ago.
The reason we haven't discussed it yet, as a matter of fact, is because it was discovered just after our Christmas episode.
That's right.
And we had been gone for the last couple of weeks, so it's that new. I mean,
it's brand new. It's within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I want to discuss though, Brandon, because I feel like we have been, and I believe that TWRA saw this coming. Not that they saw CWD coming, but they saw that if we don't start doing something to maintain the herd. And what I mean by herd is the population of deer that we have in the state.
Right.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you can call it what you want to. You can get on people's case if you want to. But the reason we went to the unit L's, the 122, is because TWRA biologists, deer biologists, said and saw that since we're increasing our volume of deer, our quantity of deer, the quantity so much, they went from 900,000 to over 1 million.
Correct.
We're going to have a chance to get a disease. So they opened up the
the more you have, the higher that population density is, and so
the more chances you have for disease.
And just like I knew, they knew that one day it was going to be here. I mean, you're not going to get a disease that surrounds your state, and you don't get it, you're going to get it. Yes, I do think some of that was them trying to kind of preempt it. They made the limit so liberal in that case because you've still got 80% of your hunters, or maybe more, that aren't going to take a doe. They're just not going to do it.
They're just not going to do it.
As you can see, we will. We'll take a doe.
I ain't scared.
But my point is, they keep it that way because you have those few guys that will, and they're allowing them to take what they can. But if you look at the response so far, now TWRA has an entire action plan that they'll be putting into place. But the response so far is an extended season in those counties with no limit on the does that you can shoot.
Right, Hardeman, Fayette, and McNary.
McNary, that's right. And so what that goes to show you is, though, with their initial deal is, it's numbers. They've got to get the numbers
down.
No, they're not going to go in there overnight and kill all the deer and take them all away. There's so many things you hear that are
it's not total eradication.
It's okay. Everything's going to be okay.
It's going to be
we have a caller on one.
Yep. And who do we have? Randy, how can we help you?
Yes, I got a question I was going to ask you about. Since this disease has got here now, is on the baiting issue over the corn. Now, what is this going to do with that deal there? Is this going to kind of quieten it down, or what?
Well,
that could be a two-phase thing.
It's going to be two-phase, but I'll tell you what's going to happen most likely. The initial ruling in those 3 counties that we just discussed is that there immediately is you are not allowed to set out any kind of corn, and that's not meaning you're hunting over it. You're not allowed to set it out.
Period.
You can't put out any corn. You can't have any mineral sites. You can't have any feeding. I don't necessarily know that they'll do that statewide, but I can tell you this: they will do that in any county that they get CWD in, and it is not going to stay in those 3 counties. So I think in the upcoming future, most likely, it will be cut back and completely out. Some states that are CWD positive,
I'm going to have to disagree.
They have not, but I think it's coming because that's going to be their initial reaction.
I understand that.
The reason I say that is they've already done it.
I understand.
It's a done deal in those counties.
And if you'll notice, we're playing good cop, bad cop here.
I mean, I'm giving you the biologist answer.
Okay, and I'm going to give you the aspect of what caused what is the problem is we've got so many deer.
So I'm going to go ahead and end this. Thank you for calling.
Thank you for calling. But we're getting so many deer in this state that something's going to have to be done to bring those numbers to a controllable herd. And right now, we don't have a controllable herd. The lines are getting crossed. We're getting diseases, and that's just from deer coming from other states. And they're not being brought across here by hunters. They're just meandering around. You know, they don't know where the state line is.
That's right.
They don't know what I-40 or I-65 means.
Yep.
So they don't know. So they're just crossing. They're coming in. The reason is we got so many. I remember going with Daryl Radijak, and we had over 900,000 deer. That's a lot of deer. When you've only got 80 to 90,000 hunters, they can't do a dent to what needs to be done.
They could do a lot more dent if they would shoot them, but the point is whether there's corn there and the deer eating the corn, or if they're in a soybean field eating the soybean, if the hunter ain't gonna pull the trigger on a doe, he ain't gonna pull the trigger on a doe.
But there again, we got to go back to what you said a while ago. It's education.
It is.
It's all about education.
A lot of it's education. You've got to know what it is. But once we
educate, Brandon, once we educate those folks and those hunters, then why don't we give them more opportunities? Why don't we say, okay, in McNairy, Hardeman, and Fayette County, we got a problem. Let's put out some corn, or whatever the case, beets, whatever. Let's try to shoot. You know, instead of one doe coming across the field, let's drop 3 or 4, and then you're bringing your numbers down quickly.
I can see the concept there, except for, I mean, they've still got to pull the trigger. Is my point. They have to pull the trigger.
But like I said again, that's education.
Yeah, it is. And the corn, you know, it's give or take. As far as the biology side of it goes, they're going to disagree because of the spreading, but that's a whole other subject. Who do we have on
You don't want me going on that one.
James, how are you doing tonight?
Hello?
James, how can we help you tonight, buddy?
When does your rifle season close?
The 6th of January for most of us.
This Sunday will close for your regular statewide season, and then you'll have a season after that that'll be antlerless only, and it'll be in Unit L on private land only. And you'll have 1 week for that.
I appreciate it then, buddy.
Not a problem. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, no problem.
And Daryl, how can we help you? Daryl?
Daryl?
Is Daryl there?
Is Daryl there?
Okay.
No.
I think we lost Daryl. Who are we on for?
Mike, how can we help you?
Hey, it's Mike. Hey, Hugh, this is Mike Brown from Lewisburg.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
Been watching your show.
Yes, sir.
Going what y'all going through now. You still hunt at Lewisburg, Kentucky, any?
Yes, sir. Love Lewisburg, Kentucky. Great place in Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm up here watching y'all. I called one night, but it was one of them nights when y'all were already on or something.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching your show and what y'all are talking about there with all these. We've been through that up here, you know that.
That's right.
With some of these different things, and just enjoy watching. Just stop, say hello, and talk to you later. I lift that back and listen.
Thank you so much, Mike. And he's right. You know, we're not taking into effect that surrounding states have already gone through this.
Correct. And that's where we got to step back and take a look. This has been around since the late 60s.
Yeah, it's not a newbie.
It's new.
No.
It's been since the late 60s. It has spread slowly across the country. It's moving east faster than any other direction. It's moving east. But this is not
where the majority
new.
of the population is.
It's been in. It started in Colorado.
Yeah.
You know, the first time it was found was actually in a captive herd in Colorado that the Division of Wildlife had. It was mule deer, and they were storing mule deer in some areas that had sheep in them had the scrapies.
The scrapies.
And that's how they found out it could jump species to species. And but the problem was, with the incubation being so long, they had already sent mule deer to Saskatchewan, Wyoming, Toronto.
I know.
And so that's kind of where it went. Well, it's got such a slow incubation, it spread slow, so it's finally made it to Tennessee. But the deal is, go back and look at how these other states have done it. Some of your people are worried about your mature deer. It does seem to get mature deer It's not because they're mature. The reason is it's a 2-year incubation, system. And it's 2 years incubation.
That's right.
So if he gets it when he's 2 years old, you're not gonna know it till he's four and a half years old. So that is the reason why it seems to be older deer. But my point is, a lot of your high target states that everybody wants to go to hunt big deer, Illinois and some of that, they have dealt with this for years. For years. So I've had so many people, we won't be able to kill a mature deer. Our deer numbers are going to go down. Number one, our deer numbers in a way do need to go down a little bit. And this is, as much as people don't want to hear it, it's nature's way of doing it. You get enough deer in one area, in EHD or CWD, other things, they're going to thin those populations out.
Mother Nature has a way of taking care of herself.
Mother Nature knows how to do it, and she will do it.
She will do it.
So, but anyhow, there's no reason for absolute panic. No, it's not a good thing. We're not happy that it's here.
But
it's here, let's
it's
deal
not
with
the end of the world.
No, Tennessee's got a good way of dealing with everything that comes our direction, and we'll deal with this just fine.
Hey, we got to do our tip of the week.
This week's Tip of the Week is being sponsored by Davidson Farmers Co-op. You can go see them right there, right off of Briley Parkway on Dickerson Road, or give them a call, 615-860-4774.
Got a great tip for you tonight.
Well, you got it. I'm listening.
I talked to Jeff Hill. Jeff Hill is the owner and operator of Mad Dad Lures. You've seen him on the show before. He created a great swim bait. Well, he also is doing a lot of crappie baits now. You and I got to see some of these great crappie baits. He gave me a great tip on Lake Guntersville, and it does apply to most of the other waters that we have around here, especially Old Hickory and Percy Priest and Center Hill and stuff like that. If you're crappie fishing, he said the best time to catch them is when you can see at least a foot down. Because the waters are muddy right now because of all the torrential rains we've had, they're really chocolate milk, really.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But he said, but when you really want to go is when you can see that bait a foot below the water surface. Well, great ones that he's using is really a high chartreuse or a high white color, something like that. Use those at this time with a loud head, and what I mean by a loud head, a loud colored head,
green,
like a
like
hot pink
green,
or a chartreuse head, something like that that'll give them a little bit of flash. He said it tends to do better during this time of year when the waters are murky or muddy. So remember that as the water gets muddier, use a color that you can see at least a foot down, and you'll start catching more crappie. Okay, we appreciate Jeff. That was a great tip that he gave us, and it is working for him. So,
guys, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back here in just a minute with some more Southern Woods and Waters.